It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. An atmospheric river of heavy precipitation, strong winds, and high surf continues for the northwest. Meanwhile, warming temperatures are expected for the center of the nation, where several record highs continue. Looking ahead towards the weekend, a strong cold front is expected to sweep through the eastern two-thirds of the nation with heavy rain and thunderstorms. Closer to home, sunny skies through the weekend. Temperatures will remain in the 60s until the weekend when they drop sharply. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
82 years ago, and the Japanese did not attack Pearl Harbor or Hawaii. They attacked America. And the nation shouted out, "Praise the Lord," and passed the ammunition. Kind of like 22 years ago when Al-Qaeda did not attack Manhattan or New York. They attacked America. And the nation shouted out, well, some stuff that probably isn't so PC now. But I have to wonder, if an attack like these happened today, would the modern generation be ready to fight? Or would they ask what we did to provoke the attack? Former County Commissioner Coy Griffin spoke to me about the Washington, D.C. appellate court appearance yesterday while traveling along the highways of Texas.
My attorney did a great job pointing to the letter of the law, the fact that the government didn't have that area that they called a restricted zone marked in any way or authorized according to the way that they should have. You know, I'm really looking at a big win on this, Anthony. I'm praying. And the reason why it would be such a big win is because of the precedents that it would set. Because it would, if we got the courts to respond and say, yeah, the government didn't follow code in establishing this authorized zone, then it wouldn't only point to the fact that we didn't break the law by standing outside the Capitol, but it would go even further as to say that any actions taken against us to remove us from this area would have been illegal actions by the government.
Griffin went on to further discuss the squatter issue charges refiled and an update on the Supreme Court ongoing issues. You can hear this interview in its entirety on the KALH Radio YouTube channel. New Mexico Senators Martin Heinrich and Ben Ray Lujan, as well as Congressman Gabe Vasquez, announced the arrival of 26 F-16 fighter jets to Holloman Air Force Base. These jets will permanently be based at Holloman. Congress says the new squadron will help address the Air Force's fighter pilots shortage. This move has been in the works since 2017. Construction will begin on Monday on Susie Ann Street in Bowles Acres. Susie Ann will be closed from west of Becky Avenue to east of the Lions Club Park for bridge replacement. Please follow detour signs and avoid construction areas for the safety of the community and the safety of the crew. If you have any questions, 575-415-3544. Look around. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. There's a song in there somewhere. And the best news is you can still get yourself a real Christmas tree.
It is $10 for a permit and limit one permit per household. This is also part of our Every Kid Outdoors program. So if you have a fourth grader who qualifies for that program, that is a free permit for them.
That's Amanda Fry from the Lincoln National Forest speaking with KALH. So Amanda, how does one go about getting the permits?
You can do it one of two ways. You can stop by any of our district offices and you can pick one up there. And they'll issue you your Christmas tree permit that you can print up and put in your car while you're harvesting, maps to let you know where you can harvest, and then they'll get you information on how to harvest a tree safely. Or you can go to recreation.gov and you can purchase that same permit online.
You can hear this interview in its entirety on the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. Well, today is Thursday. Time now to go to Pastor Lauren Noble to get his Thursday thought.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with a Thursday morning thought. You know, this week started out much like many other weeks, and Tuesday we had an employee meeting, as we do every Tuesday afternoon. just that this employee meeting was slightly different because they dropped a bomb on us that the company we currently work for no longer has a contract, and as of February 1, we may or may not have a job. We're supposed to meet up with another company next week, but they haven't told us who that company is, so we're kind of hanging in limbo. And I myself do not do very well with uncertainty. I know that God is in control and that He has a plan and that He's working in the midst of this, but the way that I'm kind of wired is I want plans, I want actions, and I want, and certainty in my life of what is presently going to happen or happening in the future. I do not do well with surprises. And I do not do well with uncertainty, and I'm probably not the only one that's in that boat, so let me say a prayer for us. Lord, I do pray for those of us that are facing uncertain times, and not just me, but our crew and other people that really do not know what the next thing is going to happen to them, and I just pray that you'll bless them and keep them and draw close to them, and draw close to each and every one of us during this holiday season, because facing it in times of uncertainty does not make it any more easy and makes it a little more uncomfortable for all of us. Amen. Until we meet up again, either on the airwaves or in person, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
There's no question that we need to devote some more resources to enforcement.
The then acting Cannabis Control Director, Andrew Vallejos, speaking to KOAT in February. Under New Mexico's marijuana legalization law, products only grown and regulated in New Mexico are allowed to be sold. But retailers are not playing by the rules. A liquid THC vape cartridge with a California label on it was sold by Paradise Distro in Albuquerque. That's just one example. In July, Paradise Distro was forced to close after regulators revoked their license. In August, Todd Stevens became the new Cannabis Control Director, and one thing has been his goal: compliance. And he's increased the number of compliance officers from 8 to 13. And he's looking for more. They have issued citations to those retailers who choose not to comply.
So we've issued 20 notices of contemplated action. Of those 20, 12 is where we found the illicit products.
The remaining 8 were cited for other reasons.
Other notices of contemplated action could be for various other compliance violations. These tend to be the most severe, along with failed testing or selling to minors.
They do offer some businesses a chance to move back into compliance if they correct their action. The Office of the Attorney General has filed a lawsuit yesterday against Meta. That's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram.
They've misled policymakers and parents about the safety of those platforms for children. And they also have actually designed these platforms in such a way that it enables and facilitates the sexual exploitation of children.
After creating fake accounts posing as teenagers, investigators searched for terms like teen and bikini. Instagram's algorithm then recommended accounts which shared and offered for purchase child pornography. Investigators also created a fake account posing as a bad mom who was offering up her daughter for illegal trafficking. The fake account posed as an Albuquerque resident with gang affiliations who posts photos of her underage daughter. Through Instagram, the fake account was able to set up an illegal trafficking exchange for that child. Attorney General Raul Torres says the actions Meta currently takes towards illegal content is clearly not enough, and he hopes this lawsuit will force Meta to prioritize protecting children. Alexander Theodore Banta, 37 of Roswell, was sentenced in a federal court in El Paso for sexually assaulting a minor and promoting prostitution. Banta, who is a registered sex offender, traveled with a minor from Roswell to El Paso in April of 2020, engaging in sexual acts in the vehicle along the way. Banta and the juvenile spent between 1.5 to 2 weeks in an El Paso motel, where Banta engaged in sexual acts with that minor, and also arranged for the minor to have sex with other individuals in exchange for payment. The El Paso Police Department was alerted by someone at the motel who said they had seen a young girl entering and exiting various motel rooms and overheard a tenant of one of the rooms describe a sexual encounter with the girl. Banta was arrested on June 12th of 2020 and served a federal arrest warrant on August 18th of 2020. He was then extradited to El Paso. He's been sentenced to 150 months in prison for transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. An arrest warrant has been issued for Victoria Terrazas of Carlsbad, suspected of assaulting an elementary school employee. According to the criminal complaint, Terrazas took some files from Sunset Elementary School, which contained other students' personal information. The counselor at the school told the police that Terrazas' daughter had been arguing with two other students when she drew a picture of a knife and told the other students, now or later. Terrazas showed up at the school later where she suspected of pushing another counselor before stealing the documents. She's now facing 2 counts of assault upon a school employee. In other news, 430 transuranic waste shipments were secured this year by the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant near Carlsbad. What am I supposed to say here? Congratulations. Following years of restoration, a 1915 Ford Model T fire engine has been returned to the Las Cruces Fire Department. This is one of the oldest working fire engines in the U.S. The engine features a 20-horsepower motor. In comparison, modern fire engines have around 605 horsepower. The Model T also has 2 chemical tanks, which were used to store chemicals, typically sulfuric acid and sodium bicarbonate. They would mix and create pressure to force water from the engine's hose. The engine will now live in a new fire station coming to the city's East Mesa and will also be on display in local parades. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
The University of New Mexico has hired Bronco Mendenhall as the next head coach for Lobo football. Mendenhall is a 17-year veteran head coach who has experience in turning around struggling programs. He was previously a head coach at BYU and Virginia. He was also the assistant coach for the Lobos from '98 until 2002 under Rocky Long. Mendenhall's hiring comes after former head coach Danny Gonzalez and UNM parted ways following the conclusion of the 2023 football season. There are 42 games for New Mexico girls basketball today, including Mescalero at Dexter, Mesilla Valley Christian at Cloudcroft, Deming at Artesia, Clovis Christian at Carrizozo, Gateway Christian at Hagerman, Tularosa heads to Estancia, Go Lady Cats, Alamogordo heads to Goddard, Go Lady Tigers. There are 46 games for New Mexico varsity basketball today, including Deming at Artesia, New Mexico Military Institute at Hot Springs, Chaparral at Cobre, Hagerman at Camado, Hatch at Reserve, Navajo Prep at Silver, Clovis Christian at Carrizozo, Mescalero at Elida, Zuni comes to Tularosa, Go Wildcats, Los Lunas comes to Alamogordo, Go Tigers. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting as high as 13 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with winds gusting as high as 16. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 25. Your high today in the basin, 66. Low tonight of 43. High tomorrow, 65 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly sunny skies with winds gusting as high as 34 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting as high as 43. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 48. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 47. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 35. Low tonight of 33. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 27. High tomorrow, 43. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 28 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com. And you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. Well, that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.